Welcome, welcome. Did I finish Ecclesiastes 3? Guess so. Let's get right to it. I'm a little excited about this chapter. The vanity. Um, then I looked again and considered all the acts of oppression that were being practiced under the sun. And behold, I saw tears, the tears of the oppressed, and they had no control, no one to comfort them. And on the side of their oppressors was power, but they had no one to comfort them. So I congratulated and thought, more fortunate are those who are already dead than the living who are still living. But better off than either of them is the one who has not yet been born, who has not seen evil deeds that are done under the sun. I have seen that every effort and labor and every skill and work comes from man's rivalry with his neighbor. That's you know. This too is vanity, futility, false pride, and chasing after the wind. The fool holds his hands together and consumes his own flesh by destroying himself with idleness and apathy. One hand full of rest and one hand full of rest and patience. One is better than two fists full of labor. Wow, that's hard. One hand full of rest and patience is better than two fists full of labor. I like that. Then I looked again at vanity under the sun. In one of its peculiar forms, there was a certain man without a dependent, having neither child nor brother, yet there was no end to all his labor. Indeed, his eyes were not satisfied with riches, and he never asked, for whom do I labor and deprive myself of pleasure? This too is vanity. Huh. His eyes were not satisfied with riches, and he never asked, for whom do I labor and deprive myself of? Why am I doing all this work? For who? For what? When I could be at a strip club. This too is vanity. A wisp of smoke, self conceit. Yes, it is a painful effort and an unhappy task. Two are better than one because they have a more satisfying return for their labor. For if either of them falls, the one will lift up his companion. But woe to him who is alone when he falls and does not have another to lift him up. Again, if two lie down together, then they keep warm. But how can one be warm alone? And though one can overpower him who is alone, two can resist him. A cord of three strands is not quickly broken. A poor yet wise youth is better than an old and foolish king no longer knows how to receive instruction and counsel. That's for me. I appreciate that. Friendly reproof, warning. For the poor youth has used his wisdom and come out of prison to become king. Even though he was born poor in his kingdom, I have seen all the living under the sun. Join with the second youth, the king's acknowledged successor who replaces him. There is no end to all the people, to all who were before them, yet those who came later will not be happy with him. Surely this is also vanity. This time it has emptiness in parentheses and chasing after the wind. Okay, we can get through this one too. Guard your steps and focus on what you are doing as you go into the house of the God and draw near to listen rather than to offer the careless or irreverent sacrifice of fools, for they are too ignorant to know they are doing evil. Do not be hasty with your mouth, speaking careless words or vows, yeah, or impulsive in thought to bring up a matter before God. For God is in heaven and you are on earth, therefore let your words be few. For the dream comes through much effort, and the voice of the fool through many words. When you make a vow or pledge to God, do not put off paying it. I can only laugh because I've never done it. You know, like when the church asks for a pledge, and you pledge I'm going to give a certain amount. I was like, yeah, man, I'm just going to do my regular tithing. And, you know, to each his own. If you've done a pledge, you know, shout out to you. You know, whatever you do you. But I think it's mentioned here, so there's value. When you make a vow or pledge to God, do not put off paying it, for God takes no pleasure in fools who thoughtlessly mock him. Pay what you vow. It is better that you should not vow. I just said that, right? Than that you should vow and not pay. Do not allow your speech to cause you to sin. And do not say before the messenger, priest of God, that it was a mistake. Why should God be angry of your voice and destroy the work of your hands? For in a multitude of dreams and a flood of words, there is worthlessness. Rather, reverently fear God and worship him with awe-filled respect, knowing who he is. If you see the oppression of the poor and the denial of justice and righteousness in the province, do not be shocked at the sight of corruption. For a higher official watches over another official, and there are higher ones over them looking out for one another. After all, the king who cultivates the field is an advantage to the land. He who loves money will not be satisfied with money, nor he who loves abundance with its gain. This too is vanity. When good things increase, those who consume them increase. All right. When good things increase, those who consume them increase. I want to write that one down. Man, look, it's too small. It's smaller than the computer. Yeah. Some of y'all already wrote it down. They take me the time. I don't write that fast. All right, I'm just going to finish though. So, what advantage is there to their owners except to see them with their eyes? The sleep of a working man is sweet, whether he eats little or much, but the full stomach of greed of the rich, who hungers even for more, will not let him sleep. This is a grievous. I want to say like egregious, but it's grievous. This is a grievous evil which I have seen under the sun. Riches being kept and hoarded by their owner to his own misery. For when those riches are lost in bad investments, let me find out y'all had like for real. All right, anyway. For when those riches are lost in bad investment and he becomes the father of a son, then there is nothing in his hand for the support of the child. As he came naked from his mother's womb, so will he return. And he will take away nothing from all the labor that he can carry in his hand. This also is a grievous evil. Vanity? I'm looking for what else waiting on there. As he was born, so shall he die. So what advantage has he who labors for the wind all of his life? He also eats in darkness, without sweetness and light, cheerlessly. Dang, bro. Behold, here is what I have seen to be good and fitting, to eat and drink, and to find enjoyment in all labor, in which he labors under the sun during the few days of his life which God gives him. For this is allotted reward. Also, every man to whom God has given riches and possessions, he has also given the power and ability to enjoy them and to receive this as an allotted portion and to rejoice in his labor. This is the gift of God to him, for he will not often consider the troubled days of his life because God keeps him occupied and focused on the joys of his heart. God keeps him occupied. I like that. You definitely stay busy on this side. Um, it's a good busy though. I'll say that. I've I enjoy some of the things that I've got going on now and have coming up. So hey, keep reading on your own. Keep talking to them. Keep reaching out. I know it said be careful. Something about talking, but talk. It don't matter what you say. You just want to get into the habit of touching with them every day, letting them know, hey, look, I want you to be a part of my day, and then eventually he will, and then he'll become a part of your life, and then he'll start getting involved in certain situations, deading certain stuff, and allowing other stuff to grow. So, small steps, small steps. Till next time.